Welcome back to Built by Bo. Today we're back with the 76 Granada. We're going to take off that makeshift exhaust I put on, and we're going to try and make something better. I have a bunch of scrap 3-inch pipe, some stainless, some other stuff, and some adapters I got from Canadian Tire. We're going to try and use some stuff left over from the previous projects to piece a 3-inch exhaust together. Now I have an old Flowmaster that you saw in previous video. It had like a 2 1/4 inch outlet. We're going to cut that off, graph on a 3-inch outlet onto the Flowmaster, and try and make a complete 3-inch exhaust out of all the scraps I have laying around. Let's get this thing jacked up. I'll rip out the old exhaust and we'll start on it. Okay, so as I mentioned, I cut the resonator off, and right at that Y pipe there, I'm going to fit on some scraps and pieces that I've had from other jobs, and we just don't want to spend a lot of money on this exhaust, but we're going to try and make a proper exhaust for this. So I've gutted everything from underneath the car. I have an old 2-chamber Flowmaster and some 3-inch stainless pipe from Smokey, and we're going to fit some things together and see what we can come up with. All right, so this is what I'm thinking so far. I've got an adapter. This is just obviously temporary for mock-up right now. A small jog that into some 3-inch stainless and down to the muffler spot. We just have to cut and determine where the muffler goes and then continue on from there. All right, so we have a revised plan now. We've still have our junction here, no problem. We've come down the pipe, and then I've put a junction in there, and that just, the slop in that junction has allowed me to tweak the exhaust just a little bit straighter as it goes down into the muffler instead of getting close to the floor. I don't want any rattles. We'll get a hanger made for this, and we'll start mocking up a tailpipe, but we'll get this back off here and get it welded all up. All right, so this is what it looks like out of the car. This is just the mock-up of mid-pipe to muffler, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do with the tailpipe yet, but it looks like a bit of a monstrosity, but we're just making this out of spare parts we had because, well, look at the car. It ain't nothing special yet. All right, so we have our front section all welded up and ready to be fitted back into the car. So I'm gonna get this back in right now, and we'll fire it up and see how she sounds, and then we'll work on a tailpipe after that. All right, so we've got our mid-pipe to muffler all fastened, bolted, hung, all in place. Everything looks good. Using the existing hanger, and I'm gonna tie in this into here after I get the tailpipe made. And what I've got so far for the tailpipe, bear in mind that this is just all made out of scraps left over from the other builds, so nothing is awesome. All right, that's gonna go into there over the axle. It's hard to see. We're going to come out in this outlet and catch that hanger and out the back bumper. Okay, so we got that welded up and installed temporarily up over the axle, but I need to search through my stuff and see if I've got a small section of pipe to go out to the back bumper to that hanger. So that's all we have left to do, is just to tie that last piece of tailpipe in. So I'll find that piece and we'll get that installed as well. But for right now, maybe we should start it up and see how she sounds. Maybe we can get some Flowmaster sound. Little girl ain't running too bad. Still have the kick down and stuff. 2 brackets coming for the kick down that need to be installed, so those will come next. I also have a new set of wheels, so these tires are flat spotted from sitting for so long, so we're gonna put a new set of wheels and tires on. Well, used stuff. Anybody knows where these wheels are from. Should look okay. I'll get them on and I'll show you what they look like. So these brakes were just absolutely covered in rust, like Rust City, until I drove it for the first day. And now they actually don't look too bad. Obviously I have hot spots on them, hard spots, whatever you want to call it. Need to be turned. Hoses actually don't really have any cracks in them, but they need to be replaced or they will not be safe. Probably calipers too. And we'll go through everything else and just check, see what everything is like. Rear brakes, drums, wheel cylinders for sure, but we'll have to pound the drums off at a later date and see what's inside. They're not leaking right now, but you know, chances are it won't be long before those wheel cylinders start to leak once we start to use the car. So we might as well just do it because it's a safety concern. And my daughter wants to drive this car sometimes, so gotta make it safe. Okay, so as a semi-finished product, we're gonna end up like this. Clamped on here into some 3-inch, into the Flowmaster, which you can see graphed on a 3-inch outlet. Well, inlet and an outlet. Up over the axle, into another hanger, out of the tailpipe. And we've just cut her off on a bit of an angle, level at the back of the bumper. And this is what she looks like with the wheels on. Okay, there's the tailpipe from the back. It's just flush with the bumper. I don't like it to stick out too far personally, so I just cut it off flush on a little bit of an angle, and let's fire it up and see how it sounds with the tailpipe. So it's actually a little bit quieter than I was hoping for, but it's got a really nice Flowmaster sound and it's not too obnoxious, so shouldn't be able to attract too much attention. So that is good. But for now, that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking the video. If you have any comments, drop them down in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.